Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. Going to talk a little bit about going multicultural here on this segment. Going to spend some time with Kristin. Help me out with that last name.
Messerli.
Messerli. Yeah, very good. Okay. Tell us a little bit about your company. It's culturaloutreach.net. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so we help businesses better reach and serve diverse market segments. With the growing change in demographics and growing Hispanic and Asian populations, a lot of businesses are needing help in strategically marketing and serving those populations. So that's what we do.
Okay. And so would you say the majority of your clientele may have a primarily Anglo audience that are trying to segue into the minority communities, or are they ones that are traditionally already dealing with the minority communities? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I do primarily work with companies in the financial industry who traditionally work with an Anglo audience primarily. However, among millennials, over half of the population is multicultural. So they are experiencing a new influx of clients that they're having a hard time reaching. So although it was traditionally Anglo customers, they are that's changing. So that's what we're helping with.
Okay. What is what would you say is you said financial. When you say financial, I think, of course, of banks, but that could be several other things. What are some of these financial institutions that you are working with?
Yeah, primarily I work with banks and mortgage companies, as well as anything related to home ownership, because that is also a big boom in the multicultural market. The National Mortgage Bankers Association just came out with a study that showed immigrants were driving the housing market with 40% of the new growth in home ownership. So these companies that, again, primarily were marketing to white people are now learning that they need to have different tactics in service and language and culture all in their marketing and service tactics.
Okay, very good. What would you say is their biggest challenge, particularly if they come from a primarily Anglo base to go into these minority communities?
Yeah, I think the biggest challenge is that most of my clients will say, I don't really have a target market. I just serve everyone. But you naturally market to someone that is like you. So a lot of my clients are white, traditional Americans, and they just don't know the different cultural nuances that it takes to provide great service to multicultural populations. So it's just a lot of education and understanding your market.
Yeah. So I'm reading the article that you did for us. Thank you very much over there at priceofbusiness.com, the interview you participated in. And you say you're reaching primarily small to medium-sized businesses, although nowadays, thanks to new banking regulations, there's very few small banks.
Yes. Yeah, and
small
it's
banks.
Funny because that's actually changed since I wrote the article. Now it is kind of becoming medium to large banks and institutions because of new diversity regulations in the Dodd-Frank.
Yeah, so. you have to have now, thanks to Dodd-Frank, you have to have at least $600 to $700 million in revenue to be able to stay a bank. And that's pretty close to enterprise level. And so I bet it has changed quite a bit. And so is that becoming? Are these people becoming harder for you to reach as a result? Talk a little bit about that.
Harder to reach as in my clients?
Yeah, to reach them for you to market your services.
It's not that difficult because my service is very unique. With a new regulation, Section 342 in the Dodd-Frank, it's not even fully amended yet, but it requires a certain amount of diversity internally and externally within these companies. And so that's where my products, I do an assessment that helps them come into compliance as well as improve their marketing. But they are kind of coming to me because of these regulations. So,
Kristin, thanks so much for being with us. You've got a couple of websites on here. Let's give only one. Which one would you like them to go to?
Okay, I think it's easiest to remember GoMulticultural.com.
GoMulticultural.com. Kristin, thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you.
When we come back, much more for you. Do want to remind you, best content here shows up over there at usdatareview.com. I'm Kevin Price. This is The Price of Business.